Plaintiff Louis Butler was always good friends with the defendant until they moved in together and became the modern-day odd couple. Louis claims the defendant was a slob who sat in his room playing internet games while Louis was busy bringing girls home. Louis is suing for rent and utilities. Defendant Jeremy Warren admits that he likes to play video games, but insists he is not a slob and he never cared about bringing girls home because he has a girlfriend. Jeremy is countersuing for house repairs.
All right, let me hear from you.
All right, I've known JJ now for about 15 years. We've always been good friends. His birthday is 2 days away from mine, so we've always had our parties at my house. You know, my parents were more lenient than his, so, you know, we got...
In terms of what?
As far as what happened in the house.
Drinking as minors?
Yes, sir. That's, you know, typical teenagers.
Did they serve it to you?
Well, yes. Right. I got it by my parents or other means. You know.
Some parents do that.
Oh, yes.
We need to tell our parents that everybody goes to jail when they commit an illegal act, including the parents.
Right.
So when they serve minors alcohol, including their own children, they're committing a crime. Go ahead.
Well, you know, we've been good friends for a long time now, and he came up with the idea to move in with him. I didn't see a problem with it. I was living with my parents at the time, so I needed to get out and do something with my life. So commenced to move in with him, and it was a nightmare from the get-go. It was like the modern-day odd couple.
How so?
Well, I was the clean one. He was the messier one. You know, as soon as you open up his bedroom door, it just funk and B.O. Funk and B.O. And it was just horrible. And there was a pile of laundry in the kitchen that just, I couldn't stand to see that every day. So, you know, I ended up doing his laundry for him. You know, just to get the house cleaned up. You know, got tired of it. I brought females in. You know, I'm a good-looking guy. You know, I'm very charismatic. And
listen to it. He's very charismatic. What else?
And you know, I have females over. I like to party, and you know, I like to have a nice place to party at. And you can't have a party with, you know, dirty socks everywhere.
That's right.
So you know, while I'm doing this, he's in his room or in the living room most of the time playing World of Warcraft, Left 4 Dead, or any kind of game that involved the internet.
Go ahead, sir. Let me have some background on your association with the plaintiff, your friendship,
well, pretty
you
much
being nasty as he alleges. Go ahead, tell me.
Went to school together, you know, found out we had the same birthdays, and, you know, all right, well, let's have a party together. So after that, you know, we would party together and everything, you know, and we just became good friends after that. Now, with him saying the whole dirty things, no, it was not like that. Now, granted, I did like playing my video games, and I would drink a drink, set it right next to me, and, you know, I wouldn't get up for a few hours, you know, playing my games.
When you got up, would you remember to take your drink and put it away?
Most of the time.
Most of the time. But how about your laundry?
Yeah. I mean, yes, it would build up, but it wasn't that bad.
Just show me how high of a pile.
Well, maybe like that. But we're talking about just enough for a basket full.
Okay, and obviously you didn't have girls coming over.
No, sir.
Yeah.
I have been with the same girl.
Want to be bothered with that nastiness.
No, I've had the same girl the entire time.
Oh, okay. Good.
So I only had one, so I didn't need any others.
All right, good. You're a committed man. Good. All right. Let me hear the specifics on the rent and utility bills. First, give me the agreement on the rent and the agreement on the utility bills.
It was supposed to be half for electric and half for rent. And the rent was $400 a month. And electric, you know, it varied by the months, which I have all the bills and the breakdowns right here. And he paid for cable on his own.
That was the agreement?
For him to pay his cable because he did the internet. And I hardly ever watched TV. Towards the end of it, I wasn't.
Was that the agreement?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you never watched the television?
I did.
Often?
Not often.
You're too busy partying. You had
That's
women.
correct.
You're too busy.
I don't remember a whole lot.
All right. All right. And why are you suing him for the rent and utilities? What months has he failed to pay?
For rent, it would be for November and December. For electric, it was all 4 months.
November, December, and that would be $400 each month.
He
of
paid
his
me.
share.
He paid me $100 in December, and he did not pay November at all.
What is his share for rent?
It was $200.
Okay.
200.
So,
200 each.
all right. So he would owe you $300 for rent.
Yes, sir.
All right. And what about the utilities? What months did he fail to pay?
All 4. It was September, October, November, and December.
And the amount?
$472.53 is what I got.
Sir, what do you say to this?
No, because
All right. Case closed, right?
no, I mean, I didn't think that I owed him anything.
Did you pay these months?
On my assumption, my thing was I thought that he was covering the electric. I had the
What
cable
was
and the
the
internet.
agreement? What do you believe the agreement was?
That I had the cable and internet, he had the electric, and we both split the rent.
Okay. So your understanding of the agreement is that you wouldn't pay any of the electric bill.
Yes, unless it went over, a certain amount to where it was just outrageous.
Okay. So you're saying he agreed to pay all the cable and half the electric. Doesn't sound fair. Number one.
Cable is it's not a necessity. You got to have electric to have cable.
I understand, sir.
So-
but I don't believe he would agree to something that he knew to be unfair.
He paid the cable because he wanted the cable. He wanted the internet. I wasn't hardly ever there because I was out partying.
Nope, not buying it, sir. I believe his testimony, period. And that is that he agreed to pay the cable and you agreed to pay the electric bill. That sounds reasonable, more so than I'll pay half the electric bill and the cable bill. Sir, what do you say about the unpaid rent?
With the unpaid rent, now I did end up giving him $250.
No, he gave me 50. He gave my father 200.
On your behalf?
No, I guess you would say he owed my father instead of me
For rent?
for deposit put down on the electric. My dad put up the deposit for the electric for us to move in.
How much?
$200. There was a $200 deposit to put down for the electric to get turned
And he
on.
paid what percentage of that?
He didn't pay nothing.
You just told me he put...
He paid my dad later on
Right.
after we
How
moved out.
much?
$200.
So you're making him pay all of the deposit, all of the cable, and half of the utilities.
He's a leech. He supported.
No, you are a leech. You're trying to assess the overwhelming majority of the bills against him. When you lived there just like he did, you used utilities just like he did, and I believe you used that cable just like he did. So no, sir, you know this man doesn't owe all of that.
Plaintiff Lewis Butler rented an apartment with the defendant, and he claims the defendant was a slob who often sat in his room playing internet games while Lewis was busy bringing girls home.
Your counterclaim for $400 for house repairs. How so?
I ended up throwing my girlfriend a birthday party, and he ended up bringing some of his friends over, which was fine, more the merrier. And two of his friends, well, I don't know if them two were friends themselves because they was fighting over something that was said. And one of his friends was talking a lot of smack about it, and we was trying to prevent the fight because it was my girlfriend's birthday party. And I told him, if you want to fight, go across the street. The person that was talking all the smack said something to the other one, and he went after him, and I grabbed him and held him back. But when I did that, I ended up throwing him against the wall, and he broke the wall. Okay.
Something wrong with y'all.
Now,
You just say you damaged the wall, but you're suing him for it.
no, his friends did it.
No, you. You just
Okay,
said you
okay.
threw the man against the
I
wall,
paid-
and the wall was damaged after you threw the man against the wall.
Yes, sir. Now, yes, Your Honor. Now, his friend told me that they would pay to have the wall fixed because they were apologizing
And they
about the
did,
whole...
did they?
No.
So
no.
you know who has to pay the
I
person,
did.
the other person who caused the damage.
So I paid for it.
Oh, you
Everything
paid
was fine.
$400,
Yes, sir.
and that's what you want from him.
after all this came about.
Okay, good enough. With regard to the light bill, sir, that you're suing for, he wants $473. Divide that by 2. Lord have mercy.
236.
236. What you'll get for half the light bill. And with regard to the rent, I'll grant him $200. 436 is your judgment, sir. Your claim for $400 for house repairs is dismissed. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I wasn't even there for the last 2 months of us living together. I had a steady girlfriend. And, you know, he's like the crazy cat lady. You know, only without all the cats. Isn't that's horrible.
I just got the cat. He was not a ladies' man. I mean, he would sit up here, bring them home, get drunk, pass out, and his friend would end up with them. They were huge. I mean,
Hey,
they were so big. I mean, I don't even think Sir Mix-a-Lot would touch them.
Oh, wow.